I've had many, many, many teachers in my life, and one powerful, powerful teacher is the new relationship that I got involved with shortly after my divorce of 30 years. And definitely my first wife was a big teacher for me. But in assisting my friend who was involved in their relationship ending quite rapidly, and we were talking about our relationships because we've known each other for many years, some things came up for me that I didn't expect. And what was said was, well, we had a love-hate relationship, and we couldn't stand to be with each other, we couldn't stand to be without each other, and but we were in love, and this, that, and the other. And I just thought about that for a while, and I said, that's the description of heroin. Or that's the description of crack cocaine or alcoholism or whatever. It was like, I went, wow. And the more that we talked about our separate relationships, the more I started to learn about the relationship that I was in, and the relationships that I created that I was familiar with. Back to family again. For whatever reason, the word care came up in the conversation. So I went up in the dictionary, and I don't have the definition now, it's not something I memorized, but it had absolutely no concept of what I perceived it to be, and I think what a lot of people think care means. It's actually quite sick. So I wondered if I was really caring for people, or if I was carrying for people. Case in point. Many years ago, very early in recovery, or healing, or whatever you want to call it, I decided I was going to stop by my mom and dad's house and not say anything. I'm just going to sit down, and because I'm always habituated to try to make conversation with people. I'll get things going. I'll ask questions. I'll be social. I'll be this. I'll be that. So, and I wanted to share what I was learning with them, and that wasn't going to happen. That wasn't going to happen, and it didn't happen. So I went in and I sat down, and I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to see if my mom and dad would start a conversation. So I sat down, and because we're recording this, I won't do it, but, well, I'll do it for a little while. This is what happened. Okay, that was maybe 15, 20 seconds. Well, it must have been, it seemed like forever, but it might have been a minute, 2 minutes at the most, and nobody said anything. Maybe even longer, I don't know. But I was noticing my mom doing whatever she was doing in the kitchen, and here's my dad sitting literally in a hole in the couch. The cushion was broken, and the thing was, and he's leaning there watching baseball, And I watch him for a while, and he's just, no interaction, no how are yous, or nothing. And I got up and I walked out. And I don't know what they thought, or I don't really care what they thought. I didn't. That's not true. I did. So that for whatever reason, I went to one of my teachers that night when I was early. And her last name was Lovejoy. Wow, what a concept. And she asked me, how's it been going? How was your day? And I said, well, I did this with my parents. I stopped over there. And she goes, oh. And she's the one that was trying to teach me about emotions. And I didn't have a clue, and I can talk about that later. So I sat there, and she asked me, what happened? I went, told her what I did, and I walked out. And I said, my dad was just sitting there in a hole in the couch, and he didn't interact with me at all. And she goes, well, how did that make you feel? I don't know. I don't know. My thing was I always felt like shit. And she would look at the board, it had all these feeling words on it. Shit wasn't a word. But I didn't know. I could not describe an emotion. And that's one of the reasons that I want to do this. I want to relate to people who, they don't even know how to express what their emotions are. So anyways, she asked me, how did that make you feel with your dad just sitting there in the hole on the couch? So I sat there for a second, and I said, well, I felt bad for him. And she goes, I go, what? She goes, say that again. I felt bad for him. And I go, what? And all of a sudden, like a third time or fourth time I said that, I realized I felt bad for him. My role within that system was to take on everybody else's emotions. I was the absorber of everybody's crap. And so, in thinking that I was caring for him, the situation, I was carrying his discomfort. I was carrying his pain. And I've done that my whole life, is carry other people's stuff and label it, I'm being nice, I'm being kind, I'm being empathetic, I'm being a good guy, when really I was absorbing everybody's stuff. You know, I've been involved, I'm here not too long ago, in doing energy and healing work. And I had to back off of it because I didn't know how to protect myself from taking up other people's stuff. So I'm a carrier of, I've been in the past a carrier of all the ills all over. You know, a case in point, when Kennedy got shot, I thought there was going to be nuclear war. I thought there was going to be all this stuff. I was carrying all the pain of the whole United States and potentially the world of this guy getting shot, and I was scared. I was terrified. And I've been an absorber of taking on other people's stuff. And I don't want to do that anymore. Because as I'm dissipating my energy to give to other people, then where is it coming from? It's coming from me. And so I can be better if I resonate my own healing energy and affect people from that. Case in point, I've told several of my friends this, and it's a blessing to me because I'd never said it before until I said it. That's why I'm doing this. I told somebody very close to me whose transition from an old life to a new life was incredibly abrupt, very, very traumatic. And as I was explaining to her this concept of this new way of living life, I said, you know, if you dedicate yourself, if you decide to do this, if you decide to change the life that you've lived, the environment that you've been involved with, you know, three things are going to happen. You know, there's going to be a percentage of people that are going to be attracted to you. And I don't know what that percentage is, and it's none of my business, I don't care. And then there's going to be another percentage of people that are going to be rejecting you. And then there's another really small, powerful percentage of people that are going to reject you, and they're going to come back and attack. That's powerful. To realize that as you decide to change your role, there's going to be people that are going to fight hard to keep you in that role. They're going to fight hard to make you keep carrying their stuff. You know? And it's been very, very difficult for me to let that go. But I'm in progress of doing that. And it redefines relationship. It redefines what love is. It redefines everything. I thought it redefined. The most important thing that redefines is me. That's it. It just redefines me. And everything else will fall into place as I redefine that as a place of respecting self, honoring where I'm at the moment on my path, moving closer and closer to that concept of universal energy of love. Because that's all there is. That's all there is love. And it's created everything. And there's little separations of that. We have labels, but it's almost like there is no such thing as cold. There's just an absence of warmth. There's no such thing as darkness, just an absence of light. So there is no hate. There is no anger. There's just an absence of love.